Hello, writers. In this screencast, I want to tell you a little bit about our course, English 101. Of course, be sure to also study your syllabus so that you are aware of all the nuances of the course, the assignments, schedule, and due dates. On this slide, you will see your course description. This is what you will see if you're browsing the course, and it tells you in a nutshell what the course is about. So it's emphasizing composition, organized, clear, coherent, well-supported essays featuring standard English conventions, effective style, appropriate use of research strategy, and sources. So you're going to develop critical reading and thinking skills so that you can produce effective essays, college-level writing, and that you're communicating to a particular audience and fulfilling a specific purpose and conforming to a given genre. Entry to this course is through a certain score on the placement test, or you can complete 007, 051, 057, or ESL 070, and you have to pass those courses with a C or better. If you are required to also take English 003, which is reading strategies, determined by your placement test, you need to take that at the same time that you're taking 101 or before you take 101. If you were taking both at the same time and you decided to drop English 003, you would not be allowed to be in English 101. Here we have a bulleted list of learning outcomes. So compose essays suitable to various audiences and purposes using a systematic writing process. Organize essays with well-supported, unified, and coherent paragraphs. Use language and mechanics for various writing situations or a given audience and purpose. Explain the role of academic conventions and the value of various discourse communities. Identify the sources appropriate to a given assignment. Read critically to understand, analyze, and evaluate the ideas of others. Synthesize and cite the ideas of others using the most current version of an established professional citation style. In this course, that will be the style of the Modern Language Association, or MLA. So all of these learning outcomes are things that you should aspire to achieve by the time you finish this course. The focus of the course then is both on critical reading and critical writing. And we will also study, or will focus, our concentration will be on the modes of prose writing, 4 modes. We will also investigate the process of writing and conducting research while using sources ethically and effectively in accordance to the conventions of the Modern Language Association. As I've mentioned, we'll be studying the 4 modes of prose writing. These are narration, description, exposition, and argumentation. The bulk of the chapters in our textbook are dedicated to the study of these modes of writing, and we will study each of these chapters in depth. So I'm going to provide an overview of each of the modes. Narration is used when the author wants to tell a story or provide an account of something that has happened. It is mostly used in fiction writing, but it is also used in nonfiction. Some examples would be the memoir, biography, autobiography, or history textbook. Narration is also used in nonfiction essays in combination with other modes of writing. So, for example, you might want to provide anecdotal evidence, which is a personal story to support a claim, and you may shift into the mode of narration to do that. Thus, this mode of writing can be used alone as an entire essay or in conjunction with other types of prose. The descriptive mode of writing is used when the author wants to create a dominant image of a person, place, or thing by using sensory details to help readers perceive it using the 5 senses in their mind's eye. The description may be either objective or subjective. Objective is used when the writer wants to simply report, as a scientist would, his or her factual observations of the sensory qualities of the entity in a way that allows the reader to get a clear and factual impression of it. While subjective description is used when the writer wishes to report his or her personal interpretation of the sensory qualities of the entity in a way that would persuade the reader to also interpret them in that same way. This type of description can be biased, which means it's skewed to emphasize the writer's point of view. The expository mode of writing embodies many different patterns of organization, and which these can also be called methods of writing, and they're listed on the slide here. And they are process analysis, definition, division and classification, comparison and contrast, illustration, and cause and effect analysis. Process analysis is a method of exposition that explains the process of how something works, and it may also evaluate that process. In the process analysis writing, the author provides step-by-step directions for doing something. This may be for the purpose of helping someone replicate the process, like I want to learn how to make a cherry pie. So I'll follow those step-by-step directions that someone has written, or simply to inform someone of how the process is done because they want to acquire that knowledge or just to satisfy that reader's curiosity. The writer may also then evaluate the process for the purpose of reporting on how effective that process is. In some cases, the evaluative process analysis may also suggest ways to improve the process. Definition is a method of exposition where the author provides a statement of the meaning of a word. Believe it or not, entire essays can be written about how a word is misunderstood or the proper meaning of the word or term. It can also be used as a pattern of organization of one paragraph or more in an essay in combination with other modes of writing or other methods of exposition. The definitions can be brief in this way or extended, embodying several paragraphs or an entire essay. Division and classification is another method of exposition. The purpose of this pattern of organization is to make the subjects more manageable for the writer and more understandable for the reader. Division and classification can be used separately or together as they are closely related. With division, the author divides one large entity into its smaller components, or divides a large group into separate categories of the group. With classification, the author arranges and sorts people, places, or things into categories that are already determined based upon their characteristics that are different. Another method of exposition is comparison and contrast, and like division and classification, these may be used separately or together in an essay. The entire essay may be organized in this pattern, or comparison and contrast may be used in conjunction with another mode of writing or several other modes of writing. In this method, the author discusses the similarities and differences between two or more subjects in the same class or category. There are two types of comparison and contrast. One is block, where the writer addresses one of the subjects of comparison and contrast at a time. This is used for shorter essays. The other type is point by point, where the author itemizes one aspect of the two items that are being compared at a time. The individual qualities of both subjects will be addressed in a single paragraph. The purpose of this method of exposition is to clarify. Specifically, the writer seeks to reach a conclusion about the items being compared and contrasted. For example, which car is the better car to buy for a specific purpose? This method of exposition is often used in decision-making. Illustration is also a method of the expository mode of writing. This method involves the use of examples, which may include facts, opinions, samples, and anecdotes or stories. Writers use this method when they wish to support a generalization or make it more vivid, understandable, and persuasive. Cause and effect analysis is a method of exposition that writers use to answer the question, why? The purpose is to explain the reasons why something has occurred or what has happened as a result of its occurrence. The fourth mode of prose writing is argumentation, and this is used to try to convince readers to agree with a point of view, make its decision in a certain way, or pursue a particular course of action. Arguments can be logical arguments, and they should be, but they could also be persuasive arguments, which are not always based on logic. They often use logical fallacies, making them appear to be logical arguments when they in fact are not. Logical arguments are based on reasonable explanations, and they appeal to the reader's intelligence, while persuasive arguments are mostly based on emotions. Both types may contain some logical fallacies, so it's important to read arguments with a critical eye, and also to keep an eye on your own reasoning while you're writing an argument. In our course, we will be studying some of the common logical fallacies as well when we study argumentation. And that is it for the introduction to the course. We'll be looking at all of these in more depth as we progress through it. Thank you for listening.